the SEO aspect of it is down to you're not going to be marked natively for using a content management system. You're not going to get any bonuses from using a content management system. It's how you use the content management system. It's literally neutral in most cases.
It's red herring, isn't it?
You can talk. It is in a way, but I mean, if you're going to talk about it as writing web content and then writing HTML, you can use a CMS quite easily to improve your SEO prospects with much reduced effort than doing it manually.
Yeah, but you could put absolute rubbish into it. You can put absolutely rubbish into it though and get no SEO benefit at all.
I think the idea is that people are, using all of these factors in a way which they're trying to increase their.
Yeah, but you could also be using a CMS system that Johnny wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that Johnny's going to write shit CMS and then put shit content into it. He's not going to write.
You never know.
It's not double jeopardy.
Divs versus tables depends on what you're talking about. Whether you're talking about layout, tables for layouts, there are benefits mostly in the size of the code, reduction in the size of the code versus content ratio, and that sort of thing, which I don't think you did mention. Otherwise, yeah, everything's all right.
I'm going to move this one from seriously uncool to even here, because to me, I'm looking at it from the content writer's perspective. Well, the whole point of the web, I do entirely get Gavin's point. You shouldn't obsess about 6% keyword density on the paragraph tag. You shouldn't obsess about a certain density, but the whole web is about communicating your message. So fundamentally you need to be doing content, you need to be producing content, and to put that there to me sounds like it's all about off page, and it's still partially about on page. So I do want to move it up there and sort of encourage everybody to write more content that is about the right theme. Yeah, and long term that is what's going to position things well. That's the ultimate white hat technique, surely, is to write proper content that is based around a theme and be prolific in that. And yes, you can. Older pages are going to suit better, but fundamentally, most of us don't have the right content and don't have enough.
In the irrelevance section, we put things like the tables versus divs debate, which really is irrelevant. You can and will in the future be able to go back to designing your websites and tables, because there's a sort of table div hybrid that is in the next specification. So black hat SEO, I'm sorry to say, is irrelevant. If you want to make money quickly and do a sort of hatchet job and run, black hat SEO is your way, but probably not in this sort of context and this sort of discussion. In this sort of on-call, we've got some things which just won't help you. People tell you you should do them. So, registering your website with Google, you can submit your domain when you've got a new site. It is a complete waste of your time. If you submit it and you've got no inbound links, you won't go into the index. If you've got inbound links, you're better to wait for Google to find your site naturally and index you from what it knows. Similarly, meta description is incredibly important and a sort of persuasive level to get high click-through rates, but none of the search engines look at that meta description. So you can make that as flowery, as persuasive, as descriptive as you like.
SEO, it might not be that important.
Yeah.
But the meta description is the one key piece of text that any link throughout any social media service uses to search by.
Yeah.
So if you have just your business name, if you try and send a link to a colleague, it will that's the bit of information that tells them whether it's relevant.
Yeah.
And search engines do now list that.
Yeah.
So,
but there's a difference between what they list and what they index.
Right.
Okay. You should put it on, because you don't want to rely on the search engine picking snippets out of your page, because they don't do it brilliantly well.
But this exercise was about the algorithm, what it responds to, what it wants to see.
And then there's a comment at the bottom. Who wrote this in red? Group 2. When commenting on a blog, put your name as the keyword you are after.
Because it always links to the name of the person. So if you put your keyword, and you'll have that as the tag going to your site.
So you call yourself Mr. Sexy Lingerie?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's
I mean, the problem with blog comments is that by default, all the main blogs no follow them.
yeah, the main ones, but the other ones don't.
Yeah.
A lot of key bloggers purposely say that they don't. A lot of social media bloggers purposely announce the fact that they don't do no follow because it's seen as a bit unkind.
It's not playing the game effectively, isn't it? If you do that. We've got Flash there. We've talked about that. It's you can do things with Flash which are reasonably spiderable, but it's that semantic element that's missing. No alt tags probably should be really seriously uncool because you're failing with your SEO, you're failing with your accessibility. In fact, you're failing on most accounts.
Depends on the image, though. A decorative image shouldn't have an alt tag.
You should have an empty alt tag. Yeah, which is different. It's got an alt. Who put alt tag anyway? Because they should be shot. It's not an alt tag. It's an attribute of the image. It's an attribute, not a tag.
Let's just try and catch you up.
Okay. We've got accessibility blogging and image slice navigation as very broadly neutral. And then we get into the things that you want to...
There's things that are good for accessibility, but usually there's the same things, aren't they?
They're not all the same things. Bjorn, just talk about things like tab...
Well, putting things like common tab indexes and access keys our accessibility functionality is actually bad for accessibility, but it also doesn't help with SEO at all. The search engine doesn't see it, doesn't use it. So the semantic part of the extra cool sub-zero bit, the semantics is very good for accessibility, and that's accessibility in its own right. That's very cool, but the actual extra bits that you might add on for accessibility don't help with SEO.
Fine. We talked about analytics being good, but said get Webmaster Tools at the same time because it's got a lot of additional and very useful SEO information. Misspellings, targeting misspellings can be an effective way to get lots of extra traffic.
Get the gem in the next minute.
What?
Before the storage runs out.
Okay.
Well, you missed the key bit. Just do it now.
Shall I cut?
Back to the boring bit. You've got 30 seconds back. 5
really important things. Get as old a domain as you can. Keep your domain. Don't swap it periodically. Make sure if you move things that you throw on them from old location to new location. Page titles of your on-page stuff is the most important thing, and after that, that's semantic structure, H tags, lists, whatever else. And then, in terms of the off-page stuff, inbound links with appropriate anchor text, varied and numerous, ever so important. And then the 5th thing, no one's put up there, and I think that's your internal links. They're the links you control that navigate between pages, whether they're in context or in your navigation, and they are extraordinarily important, and more so as you get to bigger sites. Okay, so if you've got a 100-page site, yes, they're important. When you get to big sites of 2,000 or 3,000 pages, 20,000 pages, they become enormously important. Get them right, avoid the homepage trap of having homepage as your anchor text. Make sure you sort out those canonical issues. Don't link some to default.htm and some to your site route. And if you can, vary the navigation through the site, so have a slightly different anchor text to different sections if that's feasible. So those would be the 5, and behind them